Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Minutes of Inspiration with Calandra. Happy Sunday. How is it going today? I pray that you and your family has been able to have a great weekend and a good Sunday as always. So, today's topic is growth mindset over perfectionist mindset. I'm going to repeat that. Growth mindset over perfectionist mindset. So today I was able to get up and press my way into the house of the Lord today. And I say press my way because I had to do just that. I like to be very open and transparent and honest with you guys so that you guys can know that I'm relatable, that I am relatable. So I had to press this morning. It took everything in me to just get up and do what I know that I needed to do. And I'm so grateful that I pressed my way in this morning because the word was everything that I needed to hear. The word was everything that I needed to hear. So the topic today from church is when life brings you to your knees. When life brings you to your knees. And when I tell you I needed to hear that today, I needed to be reminded of what we do when life brings us to our knees. As we know, life sometimes be lifing. And we go through, a lot of different change. And regardless to who you are, none of us are exempt. And we all reach a point in life where we feel exhausted, where we feel tired, but we know as Christians that we must persevere, that we must continue on regardless to how we feel. So again, I'm saying all that to let you know that I am relatable, that if you are feeling like that today, that you are not alone, that I too understand how that feels, how it feels to just be exhausted, with so many things going on in the world, but still knowing that you have to get up and you have to continue in faith and believe and press your way. And that you know that when you press your way, that you will be rewarded because the Lord is with us and He goes with us. And when we press our way, He a lot of time meets us where we need to be in the first place. So He meets us there. So I know that the Lord met me today, met me today where I need to be. And I'm just so grateful that He encouraged me and helped me to get up, get up, get up, get up, and do what I needed to do and press my way into the building today because, again, the topic was everything that I needed to hear. Again, the topic for today's message at church was when life brings you to your knees. So basically, the pastor was just letting us know that in life, things happen, as we already know. But when life brings us to our knees, that we are at the right place for God to be able to move because we're not working and operating in our own strength anymore. We are now surrendering and allowing God to be God in His rightful place, which He's always God, but we're not fighting anymore. We're not doing things in our own power anymore. We're not trying so hard to make things happen anymore. We are just throwing our hands up and surrendering and allowing God to meet us where He needs to meet us at. So when I tell you, I needed to hear that. I needed to be reminded of that, that it doesn't matter if I'm tired or it doesn't matter if I feel overwhelmed or no matter how I feel, that I continue to rise and show up and trust in God and know that He is going to do what He started out doing in my life. And it's just not for me. He's going to also do those things for you in your life. So I wanted to come on and just let you guys know and be transparent for a moment with that and just let you know if you were like me and you were struggling today to get up to do what you know that you needed to do it's okay. It is okay. We all have those moments and we have to persevere. And even when everything in us is not wanting us to persevere, we still must persevere because we know that when we do, that God is going to reward us for our obedience and doing what we know ultimately is what we need to do. And He's going to make a way. He's going to make a way. He's going to make a way. Like today, I felt like the woman with the issue of blood, I just need to get there. Like, I just need to be in the building. It didn't matter about anything else. I just need to be there. I just need to touch the seat of the in-person building. Like I watch online every Sunday, whether I'm in person or not. But like I say, it's easy to get comfortable watching online and not pressing your way. And I knew today that I need to press my way, not just watch online, because I'm always online and in tune and things like that. But I needed to get up, rise up, take care of myself, press my way, and get into the building. So I am grateful that I did that. So just know if that's you, it's okay. It's okay. But whether you went this Sunday or whether you'll be pressing your way next Sunday, just press your way because when you do, the Lord is going to meet you there. And you may hear just what you needed to hear, and you would have heard it online, but it's so much better when you are able to press your way in and you know what it took for you to get there and then for you to hear a message like I heard today. So it was very, very, very inspiring. So I just wanted to encourage you guys with that. Sometimes we have to press our way. You know, you're not going to always feel like doing things that you know you need to do. Sometimes you just have to go in faith. Go in faith and let your belief in what you need to be become stronger than the doubt and the heaviness and the tiredness that you're feeling. And that's what I'm learning. So I am here to teach y'all what I'm learning at the same time because a lot of the things that I talk about is things that I'm actually walking through. Like I say always, are things that I have walked through. So I am no scholar in none of this. I am someone who is leading by example. These are things that I'm also encountering. And just know because I have the heart to come on and to encourage and inspire and let people know the truth, there are going to be things that's going to, make me feel heavy at times, that just comes with the territory. But I'm so grateful that I was able to be obedient to Christ this morning and to get up and go in person and not just, lounge and watch online, but to actually get up and do, what I knew that I needed to do, and that was to press my way. So press your way, guys, this week through whatever you have to press your way through, even if you don't feel like it. I encourage you just to go ahead and press your way and know that when you do, that God will reward you. So, again, today's topic for the podcast is going to be growth mindset over perfectionist mindset. Growth mindset over perfectionist mindset. And this went hand in hand with me pressing my way this morning, just being consistent in the growth mindset, just growing and knowing what, I need to do to better myself because at the end of the day, it's helping me to do what I'm needing to do to be a help for myself. So yeah, this goes hand in hand with that. So I was asked a question this week, and the question was, what is something that I used to believe that I don't necessarily believe anymore? What is something that I used to believe that I don't necessarily believe anymore? And when I was asked that question, I had to stop and think because I was like, that's a hard question. What is something that I used to believe in that I don't necessarily believe in anymore? And what came to mind was just being a person that believed in having to know it all and having to be perfect and having to dot all my I's and cross all my T's, having that perfectionist mindset, knowing that I'm not perfect or that anyone's perfect, but just having that perfection mindset, thinking that I couldn't start something if I didn't have all the tools. Believing that I couldn't start something if I didn't know how it was going to all go and how it was going to be planned out. Believing that I had to have all the resources that I needed to start something. And that's not true. That's where I was so tuned into the perfectionist mindset because I felt like I had to have it all together before I could try things or do things. And I've had to learn that that's not true. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to have a growth mindset. You just have to believe that if God has called you to do something, no matter what that something is, that he knows that you can do that thing and you may not be able to see it at the time, but if you have the growth mindset and you practice and learn and you stay committed, then over time you will get better. So that was how I answered the question. My answer to that question was believing in the past that I had to always know all of the answers to whatever I was stepping out into. And I've come to learn that that's not the case. I don't have to know everything. I just have to have the growth mindset and to practice and to research and to stay consistent in what I know that God is calling me to do. And over time, things will get better. So just learning that it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all of the answers. Because at the end of the day, God is the one who has all the answers. He's the one who has it all figured out. He's just needing us to put feet to faith and walk into whatever it is that he's calling us to walk into. So I was so grateful that someone asked me that question because that question was the inspiration for the podcast today. It actually helped me to come up with a topic for today. So yeah, just knowing that, it's not about being perfect. It's not about a perfectionist attitude. It's just about a growth mindset and being able to grow through everything that you're doing and everything that you are stepping out into. So, what is growth mindset? What is growth mindset? So, growth mindset is the belief that a person's abilities can be improved through effort, learning, and persistence. I'm going to repeat that. Growth mindset is the belief that a person's abilities can be improved through effort, learning, and persistence. So growth mindset is believing that things can be keyword improved, that over time you can get better, that you can get better through the effort, through learning, through research, through being persistent and continuing to do whatever it is that you are putting your mindset to. Just staying in the game, you know what I'm saying? Staying in the fight, staying in the belief that what you're wanting to do will come to pass if you just continue to put in the effort, to continue learning, to continue growing, and being persistent. That is the key to having a growth mindset. And growth mindset is going to be over the perfectionist mindset. So, what is a perfectionist mindset? A perfectionist mindset or perfectionist personality trait is something that involves a relentless pursuit of flawlessness and setting unrealistically high standards for performance. Keyword unrealistically. Unrealistically high standards for performance. Unrealistically because none of us are perfect. Like we are striving to be better than we were before, but none of us are perfect. I believe that it's important to have the growth mindset to put in the effort to learn, to research, to practice, to be consistent over the perfectionist mindset because being a perfectionist stops you from doing anything in the beginning. It stops you from doing all that you could be doing if you just stepped out in faith and done that thing with a growth mindset. So perfectionist mindset completely stops you or puts you on pause or have you hesitant to start something that you probably could grow into being really great at, but because you believe that you have to be perfect and you have to know everything on day one, it completely stops you from even trying. So some of the things that the perfectionist mindset causes is it causes depression, it causes anxiety, it causes eating disorders and other mental health problems because you feel like you have to know it all. You have to have it all together. And I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed counselor or anything like that. I'm just someone who have walked through the journey of a lot of things, and the Lord is using me to be able to come back and to share what I have learned over time with others. So I'm not saying that I have it all together and I have it all right. I'm just sharing with you things that I have experienced by having that type of mindset, by believing that I had to always have it right. I had to always do everything on time. I had to always be perfect in anything. And if I wasn't perfect, then I didn't do it at all because I didn't want to be embarrassed, or I didn't want to look like I didn't have it all together, or I didn't want to look like I didn't know what I was doing. And in the past, that has held me back from so many things. Like, I'll even let you guys know, I know I've spoke on this before, but I know that there are sometimes new people that listen to the podcast, and I know everyone doesn't listen to every single episode. So I'm going to say this again. But when the Lord put it on my heart 2 years ago to start the podcast, I felt inadequate. I felt like, who was I to be able to come on and share and speak to anybody about the things that I'm talking about? You know, I felt like, who was going to listen to me if I talked about these types of things? You know, and if I would have like let that sink in and never even used the growth mindset to even try, I wouldn't be here 2 years later doing what I actually love to do. Like, I actually love coming on every Sunday, uploading a podcast, speaking to you guys, building a community of people who know that they have a safe space. I actually feel good about that. And I never desired, doing this. I'll say again, I was always a writer and I still write. I journal daily. I have a book that if you are interested, you can find it on Amazon. It is titled Faith Walk to Healing. But I was always one that spoke through writing more than I spoke vocally, you know. I was kind of reserved, and I still am reserved. I'm kind of reserved in my own little space. Like, I'm not the one that wants to be in the limelight or in anyone's face. Like, I'm more to myself and reserved, and I let a few people in if I feel close to them. That is my personality naturally. So for me, writing was my way of communicating. Journaling, blogging. I have a blog as well. You can find all the information about Minutes of Inspiration on my link tree in any of the bios and any of my social media platforms. But, writing was my escape. Writing was my way of communicating, not so much verbally speaking. I never had the desire to podcast. I never had the desire to speak, but the Lord is using me in that way. And I'm grateful because it opened up a whole lot for me to just get out of my comfort zone little by little, to be able to just be free and in voice and not so much in writing. And I still write. I'll always write, but I was comfortable with writing and I wasn't so comfortable being on camera. I wasn't comfortable speaking. I was more comfortable writing, but the Lord pulled me out of my comfort zone into what He is calling me to do. So I had to have the growth mindset to know and to believe that I was able to do those things because, like I said, speaking didn't come natural to me. Writing came natural for me. That was something that I knew I could do. That was something that I enjoyed doing, I loved doing, and I felt like I could do that. But as far as speaking, being on camera, those were not things that I felt qualified to do or I felt comfortable to do. And even sometimes today, even though it's been 2 years, I still pray before I come on the podcast. I still pray before I speak because I know that I need the Lord. I know that I need to feel His presence. I know that I need to feel that He is with me because this is not something that I'm so comfortable in doing, but I'm grateful that I'm obedient in doing it. And like I said, as the time has passed, I have grown to love it. I enjoy podcasting. I enjoy coming on every week. I enjoy what I do now. But 2 years ago, I didn't feel like I was capable. So saying all that to say, there are things that sometimes we do that we know that we don't have, that we can't be perfect with it. You know, it takes time. We have to have the growth mindset to be able to make whatever that thing is happen and come to pass. So we have to have the Lord with us, because apart from him, we can do nothing. Apart from him, we wouldn't even have the courage, the strength to do those things. So we have to get out of the perfectionist mindset, because that holds us back. And we have to walk into the growth mindset. And growth doesn't have to be drastic. You don't have to grow. You don't have to go from 1 to 50. You know, growth is growth. So if you're growing and you're at 1 and you're getting to 3, that's growth. Next week get to 6. You know what I'm saying? Next week get to 9. So it's small steps. You know, it doesn't have to be something that happens and it's quickly. Although it can go in that way, but don't beat yourself up if it's slow progress, because any progress is progress. Any movement forward is movement forward. So it doesn't matter if it's not a quick thing, as long as it's a consistent thing and there's movement. And you can look back over your life 6 months ago and see where you were then and where you were now. That's really all that matters. And that's growth. That's, growth mindset. So just know it doesn't have to be this drastic, quick, fast thing. Just know that growth is growth. Movement is movement. Any type of movement forward is great movement to have. So whether it's slow movement or quick movement, it's still movement. And just believe in yourself and know that you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. You just have to put in the effort. You just have to do the research to whatever it is that you want to do. And you have to believe that if God is for you and he has called you, then who can be against you? And you have to know that it's not about perfection, but it's about having the growth mindset and growing and moving forward. So I want to encourage you guys to release perfectionism and grab a hold to the growth mindset. And this week, carry the growth mindset with you in every area of your life, whether at work, whether taking care of your children, whether volunteering, whatever you do in your daily life, just release the perfection mindset and grab a hold to the growth mindset. And watch how the Lord will make a difference in your week and in your life. So if you have been following the podcast for some time, thank you so much for staying consistent and continuously following and listening to Minutes of Inspiration with Calandra. I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful for every new follower that decides to follow the podcast and help the podcast grow. So if you have been with me for some time, I really appreciate you. I pray that you are being blessed by the podcast, and I pray that you will share the podcast, share it with anyone that you believe that will be able to be helped by the podcast. So thank you so much for your consistency. And if you are new, again, welcome to Minutes of Inspiration with Calandra. This is a podcast where I come on every Sunday to encourage, uplift, and inspire, and bring a word to just help you grow in your daily life and help you to grow closer to the Lord. So thank you so much for being a first-time listener, and I pray that you continue to listen, that you subscribe, that you follow, and that you stay tuned to the next podcast on next Sunday, because every Sunday is when I come on to upload. So thank you for joining, the Minutes of Inspiration podcast. And if you are not aware, I have a Facebook group. It is also called Minutes of Inspiration with Calandra. You can go to Facebook and just search the group, and you can send a request and join the group. I also have Instagram. It's Calandra_Monique. Also, the YouTube channel is Minutes of Inspiration with Calandra. So you will now be able to watch the podcast on video form on the YouTube channel. So I encourage you to go to YouTube, subscribe, and follow over there so that you will be able to watch me live as I speak on Sundays for the Minutes of Inspiration podcast. Also, there's TikTok. It's Minutes of Inspiration with Kay. You can follow me over there. Again, if you have not purchased Faith Walk to Healing and you are interested, it looks like this. You can find it on Amazon. It is Faith Walk to Healing. It's my first book. It's a devotional. It came out last year. It's just encouraging, inspiring, and uplifting. So if you are interested in something like that, you can purchase Faith Walk to Healing on Amazon. So also, you can click again on the link tree in my bio on any of my social media platforms that you may follow me on, and you can find out everything that you would like to know about Minutes of Inspiration from the link tree. Also, I have a healing purpose coaching that I'm doing. So if you're interested in speaking with me one-on-one in the area of healing from low self-esteem, insecurity, unworthiness, and you're wanting to find out your purpose and walk into your God-ordained purpose, you can also reach out to me from the link tree in my bio and schedule a session. The first session is free. It's a 15-minute discovery session so that you can decide if I'm a great fit for you, and I can decide if we can work together. And after that, there are paid sessions. There's a 30-minute paid session as well as a 60-minute paid session. So you can go on the link tree in my bio to schedule a session. And yeah, you can take as many sessions as you like or as few sessions as you like. You're not obligated to stay connected with sessions or anything like that. So if you are interested in something like that, then just click the link tree in my bio on any of my social media platforms, and you will be able to schedule a session. So I have a scripture for you guys today. It is Philippians 1:9, and it's coming from the New Living Translation. It reads, I pray that your love will overflow more and more, and that you will keep on growing in knowledge and understanding. I pray that your love will overflow more and more, and that you will keep on growing in knowledge and understanding. And then I have a quote. The quote says, change is not always an enemy. It can be God's way of saying enough is enough. If you can remain flexible and face the changes of life with the assurance of God, you will win. It is God's desire to make you wise. Keywords: remain flexible and face the changes of life with the assurance of God. You will win. So hold on to the growth mindset again and release the perfectionist mindset. Know that God is with you. Know that if He's called you to it, that He's going to see you through it. Be assured that with God, you will win. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Minutes of Inspiration with Calandra. And as always, know that you are loved, you are valuable, and your life is worth living. God bless you.